And something that was expected after all the drama and controversy around his signing and re-signing, that being Huke being benched by the Dallas Empire, eventually traded to the LA Thieves, and then benched yet again, was a response on everything ongoing. What was not expected was an admission to winning CDL champs while using Adderall alongside many other things in what he is now calling his story. If you guys want to go check it out, it's a full 30+ minute video, and I encourage you to do so. It gives a lot of incredible insight on what it is to be an up-and-coming pro player getting into the league and what some kind of peer pressure might lead some Call of Duty pros to do. It's been well known. It's been well talked about and rumored, the abuse and use of Adderall inside Call of Duty and esports in general. And Huke is by far and away the biggest figure that we have ever seen just openly and blatantly admit to doing so, of which he has now been clean. He's been trying to be clean from those substances. And so this is going to be something we are talking about probably for a lot of future things, because it's big. It's big for him to come out about this stuff. The video talks a lot about more other things as well. But today we focus on Huke admitting to using Adderall throughout his Call of Duty pro career, but especially as of late, and even to win CDL champs.
You know, it all worked out. And then, so now we are going into winning champs. And this is where I guess everything changed for me in a bit. You know, I realized some things about myself. I won champs, and basically, you know, I've been feeling a little bit weird talking about this, or like thinking about talking about this. It has been, you know, but I feel like I have to, especially with everything that's been going on in the COD scene. It's not really a secret, you know. But basically, I won champs, and I didn't really feel good on the inside. Of course, I was very grateful for winning. It showed that we worked hard, and, you know, we got the win. I felt good about that. But, you know, those couple of days afterwards, I didn't feel good, and it was mainly because of one thing. I, at the time, was taking Adderall. I first took Adderall when I was like 18, 19, and yeah, I was like on and off for a bit, and you know, I realized basically that night what it was doing to me. This is very uncomfortable for me to talk about, but yeah, basically it wasn't doing anything good for me, and I realized that night because I won that event with Adderall, and just the feeling afterwards was like, you know, it wasn't that great. It wasn't that great of a feeling. And then you know, I was sitting there comparing it to when I first won, when I was 16 years old, when I was completely sober, and I still say it every single time. The time I won when I was 16 years old, it was a feeling that you can't even put in words. It was just like so much joy, and you know, I was really proud of myself. I remember laying there that whole night, just sitting there, like when I was 16, just like, wow, like, you know, that was a big moment for me.
But he also talks about how it made him angry. It just made him lose joy for the game as well. I imagine there's other prices you have to pay for abusing that kind of substance.
A big moment for me, and I compared that. I was like, well, if I felt that good when I was 16, like, why can't I do it now? Like, I just won champs at 20 years old or 21, and it didn't feel the same. And you know, I started self-reflecting on myself. I started realizing how it was making me angry, how it was making me, yeah, mainly just anger. I was playing out of anger rather than joy. That was like the biggest realization. I was like, okay, like, you know, why I started playing the first game was because I love the game. I don't want to play out of anger. And I saw even what it was doing to my personality over time. Like, I was becoming more angry to the people I love, and even sometimes sad. And I didn't like that, honestly. And I want to change for myself. So, you know, that whole off season, that's what I focused on, is just really, you know, first it started with Adderall. You know, just completely cutting that out. And, you know, I started looking into like some other alternatives, and I got into like cold showers and all that. So that whole off season I was playing Black Ops 4 was committed to it. You know, the thought still lingered for the longest time, but over time, it slowly, I started to build up that confidence again. I started to see that I could do it again, you know.
And he's also been looking for alternatives alongside being a healthier human overall to help, you know, increase himself as a Call of Duty professional. Also references after a time of being clean and his first win in the league, I believe against the Seattle Surge, going to Hastro. Now this does obviously mean that Hastro knew about the Adderall use as well, which, you know, what is there to say on that? I don't know. I've never been in this kind of situation where a player openly admits to this kind of thing.
Forming all those healthy habits, over time, it clicked. And going into my first CDL match sober, and the first time in like 2 years, it was against Seattle. I remember it so vividly. That was like the match where the thought, like I said earlier, the thought was still like lingering about Adderall. And after that match, it completely like went away, because I saw that I could do it again. I remember going in after winning that match, going to Hashra and just like really being so proud of myself. I felt like I was a kid again, like honestly. Like I felt like I had that joy and kid love for the game again, and it was the best feeling like ever. I went into Hastro's office, I was telling him about it. I was like, yeah, I quit Adderall, like I feel so good. I remember he even made like a tweet about it. He was like, watch out for Huke this season, and you know, I was feeling amazing. And yeah, and then later that whole season, I felt so good. I was becoming more and more like, I was enjoying the game again. And I was genuinely I felt like I was being more like myself. I was happier. I was seeing lots of positive changes even outside my life. Like with my relationship and my family and just myself, discovering, you know, that I just feeling like a kid again, feeling good, you know, like that's what it's all about. Because and I was sitting there like, man, like who would have thought at 21 years old, like I could still feel like I'm 15 again. And to really feel that was amazing. It was truly amazing. I was really being like myself. And yeah, that whole season it showed. The whole stage 1, I was doing my thing. I was feeling good. My communication was on point. Everything was good. And this is whenever things started to get a little bit weird down the road.
And I think most importantly, he ends the video by saying he is clean. He is doing better. He has no idea what his future holds, because apparently the situation with the Thieves, who knows what's going on over there. It doesn't sound very good. And he also revisits the Adderall subject to say some things that are very interesting, because we know there are others in this league that also use Adderall. He does not name them, but will this mean other pros are going to come out about their stories? And he clearly talks about the pressure, especially as an up-and-coming pro, to join the league and to try and compete with others at that level, and you see them winning and you not, is kind of what at times had led him to abuse Adderall.
I'm excited for whatever's next. Like I said, if it's competing in Call of Duty, another game, wherever it is, I really am grateful for all the support throughout the years. I've never made a video like this. It might have been a little bit uncomfortable for me. I've never made a video, but it feels good to talk about all this, honestly. And yeah, hopefully, you know, things will work out for whatever's next. And thank you guys for always supporting, as I always say. Call of Duty, man. Call of Duty. And just to end the video off, I wanted to go back a little bit on the Adderall subject and why I even took it in the first place. In the community as a COD pro, it could be, it could be a pressure thing. At least for me personally, it was like, you know, since this person's doing it and I wasn't doing that well at the time. That's the funny part is like generally what happens is you come into the league, or at least I see this with kids, they're doing fine, and then, you know, you don't do that well, and then you feel pressure to take it because the person winning, or whatever the case is, might be, who knows, and you feel that pressure from the outside. And I just want to show that you can play without it. Prove that to myself this year, and that was a big thing. And that was kind of, the reason why I took it too, is like the pressure. I wasn't doing well, and I was like, oh, like maybe I should have, blah, 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 blah. I got into it, and that's how I got into it. And I kind of proved to myself this year that you don't need it. This is just me. I'm not going to advise anything, but there are healthy alternatives, and there is better ways to go about things, and there is positive ways to, help yourself, and compete, probably better than ever.
So we're not done talking about this. Certainly, I would never encourage anyone to abuse any kind of drug to compete in esports or gaming or general in life. But clearly, it's a frequent event here in esports and gaming. And for Huke to speak out on it, would not encourage anyone to use it. But I do respect him coming out and admitting something that cannot be easy to talk about, because who knows what this does for his future. He is still a great talent. Whether he's on Adderall or not, he is still a great talent. But to admit to this certainly could paint him in a bad light. We'll see how the community responds right now. Call of Duty pros, of course, offering their support for him. But what will this spark? This is big stuff, and it often leads to other big things happening. So what happens next is a giant question. Please go check out his full story. Huke now finally admitting to Adderall abuse, including of which led him to a CDL championship. Till next time, take care of yourselves, all right? I'll catch you back here sometime soon.